Hi my beautiful subscribers. So my next few videos will be a series on how to survive on a tight budget. I had the pleasure in speaking to a wonderful group of people, and I wanted to share this webinar with you because it was so informative, insightful, and amazing. You don't want to miss this, so let's get into the video. Enjoy.
Let me take road at this point.
Okay, thanks. So I just wanted to make the point earlier. We kind of pass it a little. Buying at the wholesale is a very good option that was mentioned. But what we also need to make sure is that the price that we're getting, it still makes sense.
Right.
So at the end of the month or whenever you get paid, most Jamaicans get paid either monthly or every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Right? So you go and you buy your £5 of flour, your £5 of rice. We eat a lot of starch in Jamaica. £5 of this, £5 of that. And that's supposed to serve you for the month. Or whatever it is that your family needs. It should serve you for the month, right? If you get paid like twice per month, what you could do is to say this paycheck or this amount of money, you're going to use that to put towards the bill, right? The like the rent and the utilities. And the other one, you go to purchase the food, or where however you can mix it up. But it is important that whatever money you have, you have to ensure that your lifestyle fits in that budget.
Yeah.
As always, I was doing a session with a married couple on the weekend, and I said to them, if you can only afford turkey neck, right, instead of chicken, buy the turkey neck and stew it up nice and fix it up nice with a little vegetable or whatever on the side, and you serve it. That's what you can afford. You don't have to eat that oxtail. You have to eat instead of the oxtail.
Yeah.
And Jamaicans know how to spice it up.
Yeah.
Right? We know how to spice it up. So always try to fit the budget that you presented. What we can do in addition to that, once you have your income, say your income is 50,000 Jamaican dollars, and when you look your expenses 70 Jamaican dollars. So you have less money.
That's right.
Income, more expenses than income. Then you have to start cutting your expense. Find a way to cut your expense. So in Jamaica, Nayuka, you can't really call JPS and negotiate with them.
Okay.
You can't.
Okay.
Neither the water company or the phone company. When your bill is due, it's due.
And that is why it's mandatory. It's a mandatory expense, and you could put that on auto pay.
Exactly.
Because once you get paid,
don't have auto pay either.
But let's go back to you mentioned in buying in bulk and so forth. We should also try to find discounts, rewards. So shop around. Not because you always shop at Mega Mart, that means you should always go there to shop. Shop around and find cheaper prices for whatever you're purchasing, and try to find discounts or coupons. So that also helps.
Okay. Right. Somebody asked about partner. I don't know if you want to address that, or I could.
About partner?
Yeah. You want me to take that one?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so Jamaicans, that is one of the favorite savings, having a partner.
Okay.
They pay X amount of money each week or each month, and at some point they would get a draw. I think the partner is a good way to save if you're disciplined enough. And what I would suggest is that you have something in mind for that money, whether you're going to put it in the bank to save, or you're going to use it to pay school fee or something. But don't just have it. Don't just get your drawer and then just put it down and it just filter away. So I think partner is a very good option.
Funny enough, I have a different view on that, because I am more of, I have an envelope strategy. If I have a set goal. I try to save for that goal. So if I need $1,000 within 2 months, I divide 2 months by 1,000 or by 8 weeks. And I try to save a certain amount each week to reach that goal. Now, if you're in a partner plan and you have 12 people in the plan, you have to pay a certain amount each week. Now, what happens if 1 week you're low on cash or funds? What happens? Now you'll have to be borrowing from your family or borrowing from your friend. Now that's creating debt for you. So, and I know a lot of Caribbean people are for the partner plan, but for me, it's a no-no for me. I would rather have my set goal and I save towards that goal. If there's a week that I can't meet the quota for that goal, then I pass on that week. But then I know the following week I have to make up for the amount for the week that I missed. So I have a different take on that. I don't know. A lot of people are for it, but I have a different take on it.
I am definitely with Nayoka on that. But what I would say is that there are some persons who are more disciplined to save on their own. Mm-hmm. And then there are others, like somebody who spoke earlier. He said that when they were taking it from his pay, he saved a lot. But once it came into his account and he had access to it, then it was so much more difficult. So I likewise prefer to save on my own.
Yeah.
So whatever it is that works, I believe whatever works for you, you should see, how best you can deal with that.
Okay. I agree with the savings account, but what I believe is the best way to save is when you open that savings account, don't open an account. You don't need a card for that account. Open that at a bank where you don't keep your checking account and you don't go there regular. And then you set up you set it up like where you get paid. Most of us, when we get paid, we can put a percentage right away from our paycheck. So our paycheck, say 80%, as she said, 80% go into your checking account, the 20% go into your savings account. That's an account you don't have a card for. You don't even really have a book for it. You don't have nothing for it. All you have is a number. For you to get any money from that account, you have to definitely go inside the bank. Most of us don't have time for that. So that money will stay there and it will build up because you're doing that. And I think that's a great way to spend. Another thing is we have to live within our means as Christians. Mm-hmm. We cannot be using credit card. When I came to this country, I was shocked to hear that people said they have $20,000 on credit card, $10,000 on credit card. Those things were like foreign concept to me, because all you're doing is every week you're going to pay the little $50, wherein sometimes 40 is the interest. So all that is coming off it is $10. And if you only look and see when you finish paying that credit card, how much interest you've paid, and you barely touch the amount that is the balance, you're better off saving your money and just live within your means. Sister Moore, you mentioned turkey neck. You can buy a couple of leg quarters and some cabbage. And that cabbage can stretch all over the turkey leg. With people like us that come from Jamaica, we can do that chicken so many different ways when you want to save some money. And some of the things that we have to purchase, it's not necessary. So if we want to save, we can do that. We have to just remember that God is expecting us to live within our means. God is also expecting us that, we can manage our finances, not our finances, his finances. And if we remember that whatever we have belongs to God, then we will do a better job of controlling that. Thank you.
It's good to look into credit unions because they normally have a better interest rate on savings account.
That's it.
And regarding savings, try to look at like money market accounts or certificate of deposits, different savings account that gives you a higher interest rate on the money that you have in your account instead of a regular savings account.
Right. There's a question, which is more harmful, hire purchase or credit card purchase?
Okay, so I know with a higher purchase, it's like you're paying an installment. You can use the item while you're paying an installment, but you're paying an interest rate. Now, with a credit card, it depends on the type of purchase and the amount that you're using it for. So if it's a large purchase, normally companies offer credit cards with 0% interest if it's paid back within a specified period of time, probably 12 months or 18 months. With a higher purchase, correct me if I'm wrong, but with a higher purchase, I believe you're basically paying a monthly payment, but you're also paying interest on that payment. So you can look into to see if the company is offering free interest rate if it's paid within a specified period of time, or see if your credit card offers 0%, a promotional offer, 0% balance transfer. This is a different topic, but credit cards offer balance transfer checks with 0%. So that's something that you can look into as well. So it depends on the type of purchase that you're making.
Okay, the hands are going up rapidly, my sister.
Very interested, very interested. I love it. But I think it was Sister Winsome. She mentioned about a saving account where you only take the number and no card or anything like that. But it's good. And saving, it's all about discipline when it comes on to saving. You gotta discipline yourself, but you gotta understand that you save for emergency. So it can be good, but it can be bad because you may run in a situation where you probably could have run to a machine and get something, but because you don't have a card, it push you back into dilemmas. So you'd have to discipline yourself when it comes on to saving, because it is also important for every individual to save. But in the mix of it, I just want to drop this in the bucket that we should also have a balance in how we save and how we spend and how we live. Because I notice that some people, save wealth and neglect health. So you spend the wealth to gain the health. So you've got to balance it as we go along in saving. Thank you.
Well,
Beautiful.
let me just say something on that. So I wouldn't consider savings a bad thing. So you can have a savings account, but I would also recommend having an emergency fund. So whatever your expenses are for a month, calculate up to 3 to 6 months worth of savings and have that set aside. So once you have that in place, God forbid something happens and you need funds for that circumstance, you can use the emergency fund instead of using your savings.
Yes, sir. Thank you again. She's actually singing my song. I work for the city of Toronto. I like to price match and saving. So what she's saying there, I really agree with that. Also, what I learned a lot of stuff since I came here. Another thing is to when I purchase things, I look for 0%, like pay down a certain amount on the deposit, and then I do it like over here, and then I'll use the music to pay back for it. When I play, I would pay back for that, so I could say I get this out of that. So I find this really interesting, and thank you again for the opportunity.
Right. Very good point. I want you to comment on that a little for me in terms of she had mentioned earn extra money, but you are now mentioning do it yourself. Could you comment a little on that, Sister Kelly Campbell?
Before, can I just jump in there? Sorry about that. Yeah,
right,
this is what there's a lot of things like Google and YouTube is my best friend. You see, just the other day, the machine broke down, my washing machine, and the amount of money that they were charging. What I did, I have a Amazon account, a Prime, and I use it to buy stuff. and I just ordered the parts there. I waited a little bit. We were out of the washer for a little bit. It's a brand new wash. I mean, the dryer is still good. So I got the parts and I go on YouTube and Google. I did a lot of research and I was able to fix it and save myself a lot of money.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to mention when you pose a question. Do it yourself. There are tons of videos on YouTube that you can research on. For example, in April or May, my husband and myself, along with my brother, we put up our own fence in our backyard. Now, if we were supposed to get someone to do that for us, that would have been over $6,000, and we basically saved $5,000 just by doing it ourselves. So you can find tons of information on YouTube on how to do certain things. So if someone is quoting you a high cost, try to do some research and see if it's something that you can do by yourselves. If you have friends and family that can help, by all means, call upon them to help you. It will save you a lot of money.
Yes, Evelyn, I don't know. I came in pretty late, so I don't know if this was mentioned. I've been listening for the short time that I've been here, and I've been hearing a lot about, going to the supermarket and buying and purchasing, which is good. We all need to do that. But I don't know if this was mentioned too. If we are living, whether renting or we have our own home, if we have the vacancy where we can do some gardening, where we can help to plant our food, that is also pretty important, because that can augment what we our purchases at the supermarket and stuff like that.
Let me take Maxwell before I go back to Sister Kelly Campbell for her to end the comment she has. Maxwell.
Yes, thank you. Good evening. We spoke at length about staying out of debt. I mentioned in the chat about hire purchase, and I think it is one of the areas that we need to pay keen attention to, because these days the merchants make very easy, very attractive. For example, 0% down and 3 years to pay, and they will go to the point where they work out the repayment weekly. And to you, it appears easy and manageable. But if you should take up that offer for 3 years, at the end of 3 years, you'll be surprised to see the amount of interest that you pay on that one item. In other words, the interest that you pay could have bought that item 3 times. So using credit card is one thing, and but you should try to avoid credit as mu- as much as possible. And hire purchase is one of those things that we gravitate to easily, but it can really dig deep down into our pockets at the end of the year. So um, I'm suggesting that among the things that we're to avoid, hire purchase is also one of those things that
Okay.
second second thing we spoke
Okay.
also a reserve system, saving money for emergencies. The best financial advice we get these days tells us that we should have at least 6 months income put aside for emergency. But COVID has created a lot of havoc in people's life. What do you um, say to those people, who have been out of a job because of COVID? COVID now is going in Jamaica is now going into 8 months or more. So even if they were disciplined enough to save up for 6 months, have months income as emergency, the 6 months would have run out at least a month or two ago. and with what's going on in the economy, it's difficult to earn extra income. That's in Jamaica, that is.
You was asking in person's income, people who had some saving, now it's going. What are your suggestions?
Well, so it's a difficult situation, I must say. I know individuals that are in that situation, you know, they have lost their job, they have literally depleted their savings or access to funds. And that's where I would say finding, instead of looking towards that job that you once had, try to see if there are other ways in making money. You have online ways you can make money online. And if needs be, reach out to family and friends for help. I'm not opposed to that. Reach out to family and friends for help. But try to find like just different small ways that you can make extra money, because I mean, it's a dire situation for a lot of people and it's hard to get out of. I know here in the US they have certain grants that you can apply for. I'm not sure if they have that in Jamaica. But if you're able to borrow from family and friends, by all means do that. At least you know that you're borrowing from someone you trust and they know your situation, and they hopefully they can give you, you know, some time to repay you that loan that you borrowed.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this part of the webinar, because there is more in store. But go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know some ways you have been able to survive on a tight budget. I'm also excited to share with you our top seller Master Your Money Guide, which is a step-by-step guide to becoming financially independent. I have included a link in the description below. You know, this is also a huge discount. So get it now while it's at our low price at only $79, which is actually valued at $3.99. But before you leave, please remember to hit that like button, share my videos. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so I can continue to bring you more financial tips for free. And remember, hit that notification bell to become one of the first subscribers to be notified when we release new financial videos. Join me in our next video where we continue to discuss how to survive on a tight budget, and for more financial tips and secrets right at your fingertips. Don't waste it, share it. Thank you guys for watching.